Good morning, power people. Hang tight, hang tight, hang tight. We're getting ready to go live. We got something to talk about this morning. I hope you woke up and you're feeling centered. There is a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in your world. 2026 is definitely the year of transformation and things that used to feel familiar. Let's use that word. It's changing. So go ahead and greet me in the chat. Let me know if you're listening live or if you're catching the replay. Who is here? If you're live, put I'm here, Tama. If you're catching the replay, put I'm here catching the replay. Tell me what area you are in. I am getting curious about where my listeners are. My company has been reaching people worldwide. I want to know where you are. What part of the world are you listening from? So I need to say this to you, and I need to make this clear because in our upcoming class, A Satisfied Heart, when people read the content and the invitation, you're going to have one or two primary reactions to it. And if you're one of the people that feel like this is too hard, then you fall in the category of unwilling. You might be one of the people that says, I don't know how to fully embody this, but I want it. And that'll land you in capable. There are people who, when they hear your vision of what you want to do next with your heart, with your love life, after the era of the podcasting gender wars, after the phase of people really getting exhausted with the attempt to even try, there will be some people who will actually tell you desiring to be completely satisfied is unreasonable. It doesn't make sense. They will encourage you to accept mediocre fulfillment. And that runs deeper than what men should do for women, what women should do for men. That's a deeper existential breakdown of identity. To see yourself as one who can only reach certain levels. What is going on in the mind and the heart of a person who tells women who are seeking satisfaction, who have recognized their traumas, tried to break through, healed, worked on themselves, and now all they know is I want a peace that most don't understand. I want a lifestyle that proves my belief about what I deserve, what I desire, what will light my soul up with joy is something that I can create. To live in limitations is a crisis of faith. So when you're in transitions like this and you're taking in new information and you're trying to learn new things, yes, you have to actually become what I call discriminatory around who gets to influence you and tell you if what you're dreaming for yourself, if what you're sorting through, if what you're trying to organize and really get clarity on is something you should be thinking, because misery loves company. And yes, I actually do believe that the most simple things can bring the most joy. Yes, you can become performative. Yes, you can have some unrealistic. But when a woman is finally waking up to the truth and finally accepting that I'm powerful and my life is my responsibility, don't you let anybody, sisters, shame you for dreaming again after going through so much pain and so much frustration and so much disappointment, that you stopped dreaming, that you stopped even being hopeful and optimistic, that you could have what you want in your love life. You have permission to dream again. You have permission to counteract any rhetoric, any projections, any energy, any teaching that says you should be hopeless and you should be ashamed that you even think about satisfaction. You got to be off and sick to feel entitled and arrogant enough to tell a woman that she should not dream. Yes, she may discover that all the things that she desires may align with the truth of who she is or they don't. I teach women in A Satisfied Heart the difference between toxic desires and healthy desires, because toxic desires are birthed out of the trauma brain. And I empower women and I educate them on the difference between birthing things out of your wounds versus birthing things out of the whole parts of yourself. Who gets to govern the next move? The parts of you that are addicted to pain, the parts of you that only view life and the next moment through your wounds and your fears, because there's truly only two paths in life, either the path of love or the path of fear, or the alternative to that, which is what I teach women, is how to identify when they are whole, when their brain and their heart is coherent. And that is the only foundation that you can stand on to have a satisfied heart. I have ran into a lot of people who are angry, disappointed, exhausted, frustrated, and also teachers and leaders and influencers and etc., whatever titles we want to give it. Don't you let anybody shame you because you are whole enough to start making a commitment to figuring out how to organize the energy within yourself so that it can manifest results in your life. I'm not telling you who to listen to, who not to listen to. That's not my place and that's not my assignment. And I don't care enough to try to control you in that way. I don't need control. I'm informing you that everything is energy, everything is vibrational. And there are people who, when you start vibrating out of misery, out of pessimism, out of shame, they actually feel, how dare you? Why would you do that? Why would you try to seek satisfaction? But you do not have to settle for what they have settled for. They may be living an experience that is true for them, where they are satisfied with not having more harmony, not having more capacity. They are satisfied with being unwilling, but you get to simultaneously be satisfied with being capable and willing to say, yes, I want to study myself. I want to unpack my whole mindset about love and what satisfies me. I want to explore philosophies and perspectives that are unfamiliar to me from different viewpoints. I want to actually learn satisfaction and not just live in the inheritance I've received, maybe from my bloodline, of just being unsatisfied and becoming content about it and complacent about it and saying, oh, well, everybody doesn't get the privilege of being completely satisfied in their love life. I am a woman who is satisfied. I ask God every day to let me demonstrate what can happen to a child of God when you not only know that you're powerful, but start thinking, choosing, and behaving in that power. I'm all about the embodiment. Put embodiment in the comments. So don't let people shame you because something sparks in you, because a flame lights and ignites in you that has burned out in them. Let them live their truth and you live yours. This year, those of us who reach certain frequencies, I'm speaking a very specific language. I'm talking to very specific people who need exactly what I am offering you in a satisfied heart. There is a frequency of love and satisfaction that permeates throughout the world. Okay? There is a power for people, men and women, who learn how to cross the threshold of their pain, come up out of the wounded consciousness. Some of the people I've admired and respected as I raise my frequency of knowledge and embodiment and I expand my I call it my heart field. Right? Neuroscientists have discovered, they have machines that have traced, when you think a certain way and you put your brain in the alpha brain waves, your heart creates an energy field that can expand outside of your body by 300 feet or more. I watch women. Women create better when love is flowing with ease and they're choosing to embody love and receive and give and exchange love. I see the difference versus the woman who is stuck living in her wounded mindset. Oh, I'm shutting down everything. I'm shutting down dating. I'm shutting down courting. I'm shutting down intimacy. I'm shutting down everything because it's just not working versus the woman who wakes up every day and says, today is another opportunity for me to work it. There's a difference. Put some hearts if you felt the difference when I spoke it. Imagine living in the frequency of, I'm shutting it all down, it doesn't work for me, versus I woke up today and I'm going to work it. The difference is in your self-concept, what you believe about yourself. That's why I say at the bottom of it, when you encounter people that are trying to convince you that you shouldn't want what you want, there's a reason. And that's why the class exists. The class exists so that you have a sacred container to look at yourself and figure out, how did I arrive here in my love life with the experience that what happened to me? And how am I going to happen to the rest of my life? What is next? Do I just let casual coincidence? Do I just let my past dictate what's going to happen next? So I just keep looping? Or do I make a commitment and say, you know what, Tamer has this class coming up. It's only 3 days. You're going to get 6 hours with me. And if you've ever worked with me before, you know what an hour with me will do. You know what 15 minutes will do. And I say that because my anointing is precision. I am surgical with helping women recognize themselves and just how much power they hold. That is my assignment. And I cry when I run into women who have been through so much that they believe their life is not theirs, and their life is being governed by their trauma and their pain and they don't know how to come up out of that. Every time, they start talking about their life, they're talking about everything going wrong. They can't even see what is going right anymore. I am here for the ones who are ready to break those psychological and emotional addictions and come into a new way of being. And the path that I'm offering you to having a satisfied heart is joy. Put joy in the comments if you're still with me live. I see y'all in the chat. Hey, y'all. Good morning. Joy. And I'm going to give you the formula up front. My formula for how to have a satisfied heart, to have a love life you are proud of, you don't regret, you enjoy showing up for, is to become what you seek. That is the foundation of my teachings about relationship empowerment. It's so easy to look at the other person and say, well, if you would just do this and you would just be this. I teach women how to look at themselves and then enter into an exchange, because that clarity sets the frequency of the exchange. The best way to be safe out here in the world when it comes to loving someone is to be sure of yourself, is to know yourself and be yourself. But where there is a lack of clarity, there's always a lack of execution. So class is March 27th, 28th, and 29th. Go to thewombsauna.com/events. You don't want to miss this. This is your year to be satisfied and to be fair to yourself. Just recognize you've spent the majority of your life not knowing how to be satisfied. Maybe you took some programs, some classes, you learned a little bit more skills. This is a skill set thing. This is not about sensationalism and all. Like, I'm teaching a specific skill set on how to properly vet, how to make your heart unbreakable so that you get rid of the fear and anxiety that comes with even trying to be satisfied. Like, I have a real blueprint for you. But you have to come to class. You got to come to class, come lock in, confirm your spot. I keep my intensives intimate, so I'm not looking for an astronomical number of women. I'm just looking for those of you who, when you hear this invite, you say, yes, Tamer, something about wanting to be satisfied has become my priority. I moved that to the top of my list. 2026 is the year that I'm not trading what other people think I should be. I'm telling you, you'd be surprised. Just test my theory this morning. Just say to certain people, you know what? This is my year to have a satisfied heart, and see if you get, yeah, sis, or skepticism. Like, what do you mean? Why would you want? You got to learn how to just be content. You just got to learn how to be committed. You just got, excuse you. I don't have to bow to your mediocre vision for my heart. You ain't got to talk to him like I do, but I watch people's reaction to my clarity, and that tells me where they should be placed. in my life. I want to say that again. I don't know who that was for, but if that just broke a chain in your life, put "I'm free" in the comments. I watch people's reaction to my clarity, and that tells me where they should be placed in my life. When you are starting to fully embody your power, it will offend people who benefited from you not living in your power. How dare you get stronger, clearer, and better aligned without me? And that is how you properly recognize entanglements, misaligned, parasitic energy. And yes, I see y'all in the comments. People, you're asking too much. I'm not asking anything. I am organizing the energy. I am in my self mastery season with the world, the economy, the news headlines, the podcast titles don't get to dictate my truth. I get to be, as a child of God, someone who looks at my own life, my own self, and makes certain decisions about my life, my truth. And I don't need the context of your lived experience to decide what will be mine. I get to choose what happens to you. I'm talking to you listening right now. What happens to you the day you decide I will have a satisfied heart? I can tell you and testify about what happened to me the day I decided I will have no shortage of love or pleasure in my life. And I have not since the day I made that decision. Then I can tell you and testify about what happened to me the day I decided that I have an unbreakable heart. No matter what I've experienced, whether it was in my love life, in sisterhood, in my professional space, my heart is solid, powerful, fortified. It's unbreakable. I can testify and tell you what happened to me the day I decreed and declared I will have a satisfying love life. I don't even waste the time of creating covenants when I know that you don't have the willingness to satisfy me. I don't do that. If your value system is to accept a certain level of dissatisfaction in your love life, why would I walk with you? Why would I yoke with you when you embrace not being fully satisfied? That's not my value system. That's not my truth. I have a different truth. And it's okay that we are incompatible in our level of what we can see for ourselves. You can see this for yourself, and that's cool. If it satisfies you, live your truth. But as for me and my house, we fill up until we overflow. That's my truth. And when your truth gets clarified, it governs how you live. Most women don't have satisfaction in their love lives because of a lack of clarity about what they believe about love in their heart and the power to create the love life you want. And that's why the class exists. So as much as I would love to stay with y'all all day, I actually have a meeting at 8 a.m. that I got to prepare and get ready for. But if this was helpful, just say thank you in the comments. Say thank you. I needed this morning. And if you're catching a replay, I'll come back. Again, class is coming in March. I don't want y'all to miss it. And I'm looking for a specific group of women for this experience. So if you know another sister, send her this live stream and say, just take some time and listen to this. Let me know if you want to come to this class with me. Can we take this journey together? Because I have decided. Do you know how powerful that statement is? I have decided I am going to have a satisfied heart. I'm tired of hearing myself rant and vent about how unsuccessful I've been in love and how my, every other area of my life works fine, but my love. What I'm tired of being that girl. I don't want that to be my rhetoric anymore. I actually want to crack the code and do the work to figure out how to be satisfied in my love life. I'm here for you. I can't wait. I'm already encoding, downloading, and configuring all of this for your breakthrough because that's what I specialize in. I specialize in breakthroughs. And lastly, there's processes, there's layers of wisdom, right? And so when you work with me in intensives like this, it's one revelation at a time. And then mastery of that. And then the next revelation pause. And then the mastery of that. And then so over these 3 days, you're going to get these jolts of wisdom, education, structured learning, a specific skill set that's going to help you awaken, activate, and implement. And if you need more than 3 days, I already have a resource, okay, for you. So I love you. I thank you for tuning in. I'm so glad I see the comments saying thank you. I needed this. I'm free. I'm free. Hard lessons learned. Yeah. Guard your heart. Guard your heart while you are leveling up in your power to create what you want. There are people who will fall off. You'll hear it. Now that you've listened to this live, you'll hear it. You'll be like, they just snuffed all the excitement, all the joy, all the positive energy I cultivated around that with their pessimism, with their negativity, with their projections. You can be frustrated in your love life. Sign up for the class too, so you could be satisfied. Why you got to come for my satisfaction? Why are you offended that I even desire to be satisfied? Why does that bother you? Pay attention to the signals. Usually the people who are bothered by you being satisfied have normalized not being satisfied. And it bothers them that you would even the audacity of you to decree and declare satisfaction in your love life. Make them mad and move on. Okay? Live your best life. Every 24 hours are given to you. You decide what you do with it. Your life belongs to you. Dream. Decide. Organize the energy. You can live whatever you decide to live. And the only limitations that are real are the ones that you ordain. They need your permission to exist and to really affect your life. And that may sound like, yeah, but it's a real thing. Everything is energy. Everything is energy, and you get to decide how it gets organized in your life. All right, so I hope you're coming to class, thewombsauna.com/events. Let me know if you're coming to class. Send me a DM and say, Tama, I'm coming. I need this 3-day intensive. A satisfied heart. We're going to audit your relationships in your love life. And it doesn't matter what your love style is. You can be single, you can be coupled, you can be married, you could be uncoupling, you could be on your way out. None of it matters. This is about you and your vision for your heart and your love life, and me creating a space for you to sort through all of that, organize it, give you a skill set to help you graduate in what you create in your love life. All right. So Enjoy your day. I will see y'all in class. Peace.